I'm from Thailand, and I used to speak English with a strong Thai accent. Here's a clip from one of my older YouTube videos. This is how I sounded back then.
What is the best way to improve your vocabulary? If you ask this question to English teachers or other English learners, they will tell you the same thing. They'll tell you that the best way to build your vocabulary is to learn vocabulary in context by listening and reading a lot.
At the time of making that video, I've been trying to improve my accent for quite some time. I would practice with pronunciation lessons on YouTube, and I would repeat after native speakers to try to sound better. These methods help, but they weren't enough. Despite a lot of practice, my Thai accent was still noticeable. But then I came up with a method called accent inspection, and it helped me improve my accent much faster. Let me show you how it works. First, find a clip of a native speaker, someone you find easy to understand. Listen to the clip and write down what's being said. You don't need to transcribe the whole clip. The first 4 to 5 sentences are enough. After that, record yourself reading those sentences out loud. Once you have a recording of your accent, compare it with the original clip to spot the differences. If you're doing this on your phone, try enabling split screen view or similar feature so you can play both clips side by side. It's not necessary, but it can make the comparison a bit easier. And be sure to compare one sentence or one phrase at a time. Listen to this example.
Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus.
Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus.
The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions.
The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions.
You have to remove anything that distracts you from the task.
You have to remove anything that distracts you from the task. When you make a comparison like this, it becomes much easier to identify issues with your accent. If you listen to your recording alone, you might notice that your accent doesn't sound right, but you may not understand why or how to fix it. When I did this comparison, I discovered some issues with my accent. The biggest one was that I tended to speak with a higher pitch than native speakers. For example, instead of saying, "How do you improve your vocabulary?" I would say, "How do you improve your vocabulary?" I also learned that I often drop the R sound in some words. So I would say more instead of more and or instead of or. So compare your accent with the native speakers. Pay close attention to the differences and write down any issues that stand out to you. Next, pick one problem to work on. Choose the one that bothers you the most. Like I mentioned earlier, my most annoying problem was speaking with a high pitch. So I decided to start with that. So, how do you fix a problem with your accent? First, you need to practice producing the correct sounds. Listen to both recordings again. This time, try copying both accents to understand what sounds right and what sounds wrong. Here's what I did to fix my high-pitch problem.
Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus.
Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus. Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus. Today, we're going to talk about how to improve focus.
The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions.
The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions. The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions. The best way to get better at focusing is to eliminate distractions. When you do this exercise, I suggest exaggerating your problem. Make fun of your own accent, just like I did. By doing this, you make the problem more obvious and easier to correct. When you imitate both accents side by side, you'll start to understand what to do and what not to do to sound more native. Once you feel like you can produce the correct sounds, turn it into a habit. To do this, practice repeating after native speakers. During practice, focus on the problem you want to fix and try to avoid that mistake. For example, to fix my high-pitched speech, I try to speak with a lower pitch like this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel.
If you're looking to improve your fitness, you have to watch this video.
If you're looking to improve your fitness, you have to watch this video.
I'll share the best way to build a routine that works for you.
I'll share the best way to build a routine that works for you. It's hard to sound exactly like a native speaker, so during practice, aim for improvement, not perfection. Once you're satisfied with your progress, you can do another inspection of your accent and pick another problem to work on. Keep repeating this process until you're happy with your accent and pronunciation. By the way, after working on your accent for a while, you might notice something interesting. You can speak with either the new accent or the old one. You can switch between them. Now, here's the problem. When you speak English while feeling nervous, you tend to fall back to your original accent. Why? Because it feels more comfortable. It's how you've been speaking your whole life. On the other hand, speaking with the new accent feels uncomfortable and awkward. So, if you have this experience, it means you need to practice a lot more. Try to use your new accent as much as possible and avoid slipping back into the old one. With enough repetition, the new accent will become automatic and natural.